Hey, what's going on everyone? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Justin and tonight is the start of the NHL regular season. In fact, by the time that this video goes up, it might already be underway, which is incredibly exciting. And tomorrow, the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season is set to begin. My emotions and mentality have been on a complete roller coaster ever since the Toronto Maple Leafs lost to Montreal in Game 7 of last year's first round. It's gone to some points of real low, especially, of course, coming off that loss, thinking that, this is the end for the team, to some points of really being quite high, especially after some of the signings that we've had after free agency. And in the meantime, I've really been trying to manage my expectations, not get too low on them, not get too overzealous. I do think that they'll have a really good regular season and be a very fun team to watch, but it's also important to obviously manage those expectations, keep critical, and just make sure that they're doing the right things that are going to bring us success in the postseason, because that's ultimately what matters for us Leafs fans. We are coming off of a little bit of Leafs lose, and unfortunately it's three pieces of unfortunate news. The first, Adam Brooks gets claimed off of waivers by Montreal. That upset me. I really like Adam Brooks. I think he's an absolutely terrific depth player to have. As far as when you get injuries, he's able to come in on center, wing. He's able to play wherever you need him, and he was able to score a little bit in the very few games that he played for the Leafs last year. I thought he was a great player to have, just, again, available to you when it comes to injuries and depth reasons, but Montreal got a good piece there in Adam Brooks. Auston Matthews, it's now come out that he will be missing the first week, as in 3 games of the regular season. Not too big of a deal, and most importantly, if that's what's going to take in order for him to heal his wrist completely and not have any setbacks or re-aggravations throughout the regular season, that's what we need. We want another Rocket Richard winning season out of him, and if he can keep that wrist healthy, I have no doubt that he's able to do that again. And lastly, Ilya Mikheyev, out for a minimum of 8 weeks with a broken thumb, will need surgery on that. Very unfortunate. I mentioned on a video not too long ago that in the preseason continued to play really, really well, produced a lot of scoring chances, still was not scoring on them, which is an item that he really needs to address, figure out how to actually put the puck in the net and convert some of the chances that he's had. But he was playing well. It looked optimistic. It looked like he was going to start on a line with Tavares and Nylander. So unfortunate that he goes down, but good thing that the Toronto Maple Leafs have good depth, because we're able to fill those spots pretty easily, at least for the first little bit of the season. Now, a lot of people have been regarding the Leafs' left wing depth especially as very weak, and I really don't see that. I think that they actually have better depth this year than in years past. It looks like for the time being, while Auston Matthews is out, that Alex Kerfoot will slide into a center role, especially on that second line, probably with I think it's Bunting as well as Nylander to start the season. But between Kerfoot being able to play on the left, Bunting, Ritchie, whoever it may be, we've got some decent depth and options for our left side. And that's not even considering some of the players that we can bring up, including Semyonov, Robertson, whoever it may be. So I think we're set off pretty well that way. And with that said, I think the keys to the season for this year for the Toronto Maple Leafs is just making sure that our depth is able to recover some of our losses that we'll inevitably have throughout the regular season. Of course, every team deals with injuries, deals with whatever the case may be, especially in the COVID world. You never know what could happen. So we need to make sure that our depth options are sufficient enough to fill some major holes, like the likes of Auston Matthews, who's out for the first 3 games, and someone like Alex Kerfoot being able to step into that role and play it well. We also have to consider the goaltending. I think our goaltending situation is set up for success this year. I think Campbell and Mrazek are more than capable of working together as a tandem and both providing very solid goaltending. But odds are, if one of them doesn't play too well, the other one will play above what is expected for them. So I have no concerns when it comes to goaltending this year. If Jack falters, we've got Mrazek. If Mrazek falters, we've got Jack. Should be set and fine there. And then our third goalie, Michael Hutchinson, actually played really solid last year for us when he was called upon, and hopefully he can do the same this year. Our defense is virtually the exact same as last year, and last year our defense was much better than it's been in recent memory, so I have no concerns there either. I'm interested to see how Sandin can adapt to the NHL. He will be a full-time NHLer, and I'm interested as well to see if Timothy Liljegren can steal a role from Dermott. It is in the conversation right now that Liljegren might start in the home opener over Dermott, so interesting to see what happens there, but hopefully the two of them can take big steps this year and really develop into full-time NHLers. The power play, a very big point of contention from last season. The power play did not produce well at all outside of the first month or two of the season. Can they stay consistent? I think they'll be able to with some of the acquisitions that they made with the likes of Bunting and Ritchie. Those are serviceable guys that will be in front of the net, and you've got obviously superstars around them that know how to score and produce plays. Mitch Marner in the bumper spot will be interesting to watch, but William Nylander in more of a shooting role will be interesting to see as well. Can he put the puck in the net a little bit more? I think that this power play should be able to be a little bit more consistent this year, but of course that's up to the players to decide. And I know a lot of people were discussing last year, especially in the playoffs, the coaching, their systems, Sheldon Keefe's role in the collapse against Montreal. I think we saw from the Amazon series All or Nothing that they've had the right mentality all along, and that Sheldon Keefe is not willing to accept anything but greatness and really is looking for the team to produce what is going to be necessary for the postseason all throughout the regular season. So as long as he keeps preaching that and doesn't let his foot off the gas and make sure that this team stays accountable and making sure that they're doing all the little things that can produce, again, good results in the postseason, I think that's all you really need from him at this point. Hopefully he can get good minutes out of Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, make sure that they're set up for success, and everything should follow suit after that. As far as overall expectations for this year, I don't want to set my expectations too high. And in fact, I still am not set on the fact that this Leafs team is guaranteed a playoff spot. I think obviously Tampa, Florida, Boston, the likes of Montreal, and even the likes of an Ottawa Senators are all potential teams that could compete for that final playoff spot. So I'm not setting expectations, but I am quite hopeful. And I'm not trying to be, but I can't help but just think that this team is still an extremely good team. I mean, last year you saw how dominant they were in the regular season. Of course, the regular season doesn't mean much, but it's not like this team took a huge drop off. In fact, I think they got better from last year. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people disagree, but with that said, I still have the hopes that this team can make the playoffs in a solid seeding, maybe even get home ice advantage, and then again, this whole season should be all nothing but obviously getting in the playoffs, but preparing yourselves for the postseason. And if they can do that well enough and stay consistent enough throughout the regular season, do the little things right and get those playoff style goals, as Sheldon Keefe said in the Amazon series, well, then this team, I think, does have a good chance of winning a series. As far as expectation goes, I don't have any. I'm just going to watch every game. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm still going to be a diehard fan. I'm going to hate when they lose. I'm going to love it when they win. I'm going to go through some ups and downs, as we all are. But no expectations, just a lot of excitement to watch this team. I've missed hockey way too much. This team is way too good to just, let down and not believe in them, not want to watch them, not think that they're good. This team is the best team that we've had in so long. In the meantime, NHL does still start tonight, so I'll be watching those games. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm looking forward to watching with you as we go through another Toronto Maple Leafs season here in 21-22. Thanks for watching.